Welcome to Lesson 1.2, Solving Multi-Step Equations. One of the most important properties that you read about in your notes was the distributive property, which says that if we have A times the quantity B plus C, it equals AB plus AC. Now, this is really just a fancy way of saying, let's multiply the A times everything inside the parentheses. So A times B and A times C. And since there's a plus, we're going to add them together. Another important thing to remember from the notes is that if an equation has fractions in it, before you do anything else, multiply by the common denominator, which is where we say, okay, if we can't add 1/2 and 1/3 because their numbers in the bottom or in the denominator are different. We have to find a number that both of those numbers go into. So let's look at a few examples. If we're given 6 times the quantity x minus 8 equals negative 30, the first thing that we have to do is to apply the distributive property. So we are going to multiply 6 times x and 6 times negative 8. 6 does not get multiplied by this negative 30 because the negative 30 is outside of these parentheses. 6 is only multiplied by what's inside the parentheses. So 6 times x is 6x, and 6 times negative 8 is negative 48. Then we're left with equals negative 30 on the right. And now this looks like the equations that we were solving before. And what we're going to do is isolate this x term. To get rid of this 48, we have to add 48 to both sides. '48's on the left cancel. And then we're left with negative 30 plus 48. And that will give us 18. We're left with 6x on the left, so we have 6x equals 18. So now we have to get rid of the 6, and 6 is multiplied by x. To undo multiplication, we divide both sides by 6. On our left side, the 6's cancel, and we're left with just x. And on our right, we have 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So our final answer is x equals 3. Next, we have 1/2 x plus 2/3 equals 7. Now, when you see those fractions in an equation, do not freak out. Rather think to yourself, okay, fractions are my friends. And so what we're going to do is find a number that both 2 and 3 can go into. So we could look at it this way. Start listing the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to stop there. Now let's list the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Do we see anything that these multiples have in common? Both have a 6 in common. So that means both 2 and 3 can go into 6. So we're going to multiply the whole left side of the equation by 6. But what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So we're going to multiply the right side also by 6. Well, now we do 6 times 1/2 x. And then we distribute it further, and we get plus 6 times 2/3 x equals, I'm going to leave that 7 times x, or 6 for now. So now we can look at this and say, okay, 6 times 1/2, and let's reduce our fraction. Think of this as 6 over 1. 6 and 2 can simplify. 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So we're left with 3x. Plus, think this again over 1. Our 3 and our 6 can simplify because 3 goes into both of them. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 4x. And then 7 times 6 is 42. Now all we have to do is simplify our left-hand side of the equation. And we say 3x plus 4x equals, 3 plus 4 is 7, and we leave x. Finally, we have 7 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division, so we are going to divide both sides by 7. 7's on the left cancel. 42 divided by 7 gives us 6. And our final answer here is 6. Alright, let's look at one more equation. 3x plus 4 times the quantity 4x plus 9 equals 9x minus 15. Now that's a lot of stuff going on in the equation, but we want to remember what we've learned already. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or simply PEMDAS, the order of operations. And this tells us that the first thing we want to get rid of is our parentheses. Okay, so let's use our distributive property. Distribute 4 to x and 4 also to 9. We have 3x plus 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 9 is 36. This equals 9x minus 15. Now we can combine our like terms. And let's start by just simplifying this left-hand side. We have 3x plus 4x plus 36. Well, we have two x terms, so we can combine those. 3 plus 4 is 7x plus 36 equals 9x minus 15. Now we can let's take 7x to the right-hand side, since 7 is smaller than 9. So we do minus 7x and minus 7x. We're left with 36 equals 2x minus 15. Now we need to get rid of this minus 15. And since it's subtracting, the opposite of subtraction is addition, so we're going to add 15 to both sides. 36 plus 15 gives us 1, carry the 1, 51. We're left with 2x over here because our 15's canceled. Finally, we need to get rid of the 2. We have 2 times x. Opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide both sides by 2. Now 51 over 2 cannot simplify as a fraction, so we are left with 51 over 2 equals x, or more appropriately, x equals 51 over 2. That is our final answer.